The Arch Gaming Network is proud to bring you this board game review. Now here's your host, Sean Smith.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. My wife said in the first two videos that the background needed some board games, so we decided to put up just a small handful of the games that we have to kind of spruce up the joint and take the focus off of this mug. Today we're taking a look at Game of 49, designed by Mark Corsi of Marquee Games. It's now published under the brand Breaking Games. It's a 2 to 5 player game, and it's an auction, bidding, area control, Connect 4 type of game where you have a grid of 49 numbers, kind of like a bingo style looking board that's placed in the center of the table. And then numbers are going to be drawn, and players will take turns bidding on that number. If you win the bid, you get to put your chip on that number, and if you get 4 in a row, you win. But watch out, because other players are going to try and block you. You'll need to manage your money, know when to run a player up, try to block them while keeping enough money for yourself or your numbers, all in hopes of being able to get those 4 in a row and win the game. So let's take a look at the setup, the gameplay, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the other side. Okay, to set up the game, you're going to place this grid of 49 numbers in the center of the board. You'll designate a banker, give each player $49. And we'll just put this off to the side for now. You're going to shuffle up your game of 49 cards and just keep it in that holder. Each player will take their colored discs, and you're ready to play. As you can see, these discs are see-through, so when they're laying on the board, you can see through and see what numbers have been taken. Starting with the first player, the player will draw one of these cards and then put it up for auction. So let's take a look at some of these cards. So for example, let's say they drew this one. Now, the number at the bottom, the $7 with the 2 people, that's only in case of playing a 2-player game. If you're playing with more than 2, you can just ignore everything below that green line. So the player then would say that 44 is now up for auction, and that person would then start with a bid if they wanted to. They don't have to. They can pass, or they can say they're out. As long as the bid has not been placed yet, the players can just pass until someone makes an opening bid, and then you can say whether you're out or not. So let's say it was the green player's turn. The green player bids, 1, and then it goes to the yellow player. They can bid 2 or more. Then the red player can again bid higher. You can bid as much as you want. The only restriction is that you can never bid more money than you actually have. That's an illegal bid. And if you don't have enough money to pay for the card that you just won because of an illegal bid, you have to remove a chip from the board. Then the card goes back up for auction and you're not allowed to participate. So let's say the green player had a winning bid of 7. You take the $7 and then get this card and then place his chip on there. And of course the object is to try and get 4 in a row, either up and down, side to side, or diagonally. Now, one thing to note about the money is that you can keep this secret. In fact, you probably should keep it secret. You don't want other players knowing how much money you have to spend, because then they could try to run up the cost of a card on you if they know how much you have to spend and maybe you're willing to spend. So you probably want to keep that secret. The next player, in this case yellow, then would get to pick the next card, and let's say it's 41, and then he would place a bid and you'd start over until someone won that bid. So let's say you've gone along Okay, let's say the game has been moving along and the board's looking like this, and then one of these cards come up. Now you have these wild payoff cards, okay? First of all, it's wild, so whatever it says here is if you win the bid, you get to place your chip anywhere in that. So in this case, this blue, as you can see, you have a blue, you have orange, green, and then the center, the game of 49. So if you win this card, you get to place it anywhere along the blue. This card, then you get to place your chip anywhere in here. But there is one more card in the deck, and it's called the Wild 49 Payoff. The winner of this card gets to place their chip right here in the center. And if they already own it, let's say green wins, and they win this card, they can place it anywhere on the board, okay? If another player wins this card, they can knock that player off and take it for themselves. That can only happen with the Wild 49 payoff card. The other wild cards, you cannot kick somebody off of a spot that they're already on. So let's talk about the payoff part of the card. After this card is purchased and the chip is played, now it's time for everyone to receive a payoff. So looking at the board, for every chip you have on the board, you get $7. This is the way to replenish your money. So this player would get 28, this player would get 28, and this player would get $14 back. Everybody gets money at a payoff, not just the person who won that particular card. So players will continue to go around and around and place bids and try to win chips. In a 5-player game, you only need 3 in a row to win. In a 2 to 4-player game, you need 4 in a row to win. First one to 4 or 5 is the winner. Okay, so I was first introduced to this game during a tournament at Geekway to the West. I made it to the final table, but I didn't take home the big prize. Afterwards, I got to meet and talk with the designer, Mark Corsi. Great person and very passionate about his game. And it's a fabulous game, but I wouldn't recommend it for 2 players. It plays best 3 to 5 players. It's really a lot of fun. I love the bidding and the auction. I love those style of games. It's fun to try and run up the price of a card that you know your competitor wants, keeping your money secret, knowing when to strike at the right time to get the cards that you need. But I will say that there is a little bit of luck involved. So for example, let's say someone needed number 46 to win the game. Well, they can kind of sit back and just hold on to their money and not bid on anything, collecting money at the payoffs, trying to build up their bankroll so that when their number does come out or that wild comes out, they'll be able to outbid everybody and win the game. Now there is a counter to that, and that is if you're lucky, someone else's number to win the game will come up, and maybe that forces the person who'd been hoarding all that money having to spend a lot to try and block the other player from winning. So yes, there is a little bit of luck involved, but it's not that big of a component to the game. I mean, when you really think about the game, there isn't a whole lot of strategy. You're doing mostly money management and trying to make sure that you're in a position to win the game. We've played this many times, and people have a lot of fun with it. And it's one of those games that's quick and simple to play. And usually when you've played a round or played a game of it, somebody wants to play it again right away. And so a lot of times when it hits the table, we'll play it 2 or 3 times in a row. So it's a great game. I give it a 9 out of 10. Now, if you like this video, I ask that you just take a second and hit the like button below, and also to subscribe to this channel. Once again, I thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for visiting the Arch Gaming Network. For more great content, check us out at archgamingnetwork.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.